Hey guys, it's Sarah and I am here with a book review for you. Today I'm going to be reviewing 100 Days of Happiness by Fausto Brizzi, and this was sent to me by Penguin Random House, and I am forever grateful for them for sending me this book because I absolutely adored it. So this book is a fiction and it follows a man who lives in Rome, and he has a family and he has a wife and two kids. And when we open, it kind of starts out with his background, and he has two childhood friends that are still, they're still best friends today. So you kind of go through their whole story and background and things like that. And then pretty early on, you find out that this man, his name is Lucio, he ends up cheating on his wife, and she has essentially kicked him out of the house. And so he is kind of down in the dumps about it, and he's trying to figure out how he can win her back. He ends up moving into his father-in-law's donut shop, hence the donuts. And he ends up getting a medical diagnosis that he has a tumor in his liver, which has also spread to his lungs. So he has a pretty increasingly quick stage of cancer. So when he finds that out, he decides that he's going to really just try to live the rest of his life the way that he really wants to. He's going to do what he wants. He's going to try to fix things with his wife. He's going to spend as much time with his kids as he possibly can. And you really just kind of follow his journey through that. And it's really cool because throughout the book here, I was surprised at how much I laughed. I laughed so much in this book. Just some of the things that I think about 4 pages in, I was laughing already, like literally out loud. My husband looked at me like I was crazy. But it, like, just little phrases that are just so funny, and they make you think, and then they make you laugh. And just some of the quotes in here are really good. I went back and read a few of the quotes multiple times just because I had to read it a few times to move on because they were just so good. And I will include some of my favorites down in the description, so make sure you read those. But yeah, I was really, really impressed. I found it to be very, very charming, and just, it made me happy. Like, it really made me happy to read this book. So the reading experience was really great. Another thing that I thought was really, really cool is that through the book, it starts out with just regular chapter headers, and then when you get to day 100 of his life, he kind of starts a countdown. He has a notebook, and he kind of starts a countdown of how many days he has left on Earth, and he starts with number 100. So after kind of the initial stuff, the chapters start with 100. So it's like minus 100, so 100 days. And then the next chapter here is day 99. And you go through that all through to day 0, basically, through the rest of the book. And then there's also some fun things in here where, he is trying to make decisions about what he wants to do for the rest of his life. And then he asks you what you would do with the rest of your life. And so, for example, right here, he leaves a little blank page with lines. So you can actually write in here on what you would want to do if you only had 100 days to live, or if you had a timeline on the rest of your life. What would you do? What foods would you eat? Who would you spend your time with? Do you have a bucket list you would want to start trying to check off? Would you try to fix relationships? Would you just sit around and do nothing but eat donuts just because you can? So it really did make me think about those kind of things, because I saw him going through his journey, and then I was like, well, what would I do if I got a diagnosis like this? How would I spend my last days if I knew that my days were numbered? So it was very interesting like that. And then there was another part in here that had another place where you could write like that. Let me see if I can find it. But you really spend the last days of his life just really getting to know him a lot better, and getting to know his strengths and his weaknesses, and just seeing how differently he starts interacting with people. So it's very interesting. This other one here is there was a wall in Rome where an artist had made like a divided section and put things I love and things I hate, and people could actually write on the wall of things that they love and things that they hate, and they could sign it. And so he left a little space here. So this is things I love, and then the other side is things I hate. So I thought that was really cool, you know, just kind of like a little interactive element. I'm weird about writing in books. I don't usually like to write in books, but I'm considering like writing on Post-its or something and sticking them in here. Just because I know that someone else is probably going to read this besides me. So I don't want to like completely mark up the book, but I just thought that was a really cool element. It surprised me. So as you go through his last 100 days of his life, he really does try his hardest to live the best that he can, but you do see him struggle. So it's not all happy roses. You see him, especially in the beginning, you see him struggle. You see him dealing with a little bit of depression about his condition. And you see him try to fix things and it doesn't exactly work, so he has to try harder, and you see him struggle with that as well. His wife is not an easy sell, so she's pretty amazing, but she's not an easy sell. So he has to work really hard, you know, to get her back to trusting him again, and she doesn't, understandably. But then eventually you see his friends trying to really just cheer him up, and they try to take him on a road trip, and he's just not feeling it. And then he decides, I only have a certain number of days left. I'm going to spend every single second with my family. And that's exactly what they do. He takes his entire family on a road trip, and you see them form some special bonds. He takes them around to do things that were very significant in their lives in the past, like special places they went, things they did, things he did as a kid that he wants to do with his kids. So that part was great. There were a few days that were a little dry for me towards the end, but other than that, just I really enjoyed the story. I really enjoyed how it was written, and yeah, just I really enjoyed this book. I was really surprised at how much I enjoyed it. And as far as the reading experience goes, like 100% 5 stars for this, because I enjoyed the experience of reading it, and I laughed and I was surprised, and just it was great. So if you are interested in this, it is on sale today, August 11th on Amazon. I'll include the Amazon link down below if you guys want to go check it out. But I highly recommend it. On Goodreads, I ended up giving it 4 stars. I wanted to give it 4.5. I don't know how to do the half stars. I'm not sure how to do that yet. So if anyone knows how to do that, let me know. But for Goodreads, like, I can only give it 4 stars, so I don't know how that happens. But the only reason I would dock a half a star for it is because there were some days towards the end that were a little bit I was struggling to get through. And each day is only like 3 or 4 pages long, so they're not long chapters. But it was a little bit dry, so I was kind of like, okay, get on with it. Something big needs to happen again. But then something big would happen again, so it would get me right back into it. But other than that, I really adored this book. I thought it was great. It's very uplifting, and yeah, and the ending took me for a little bit of a surprise as well. So there's that. Okay, so if you guys want to check out this book, I highly encourage it. Like I said, click on the Amazon link I'm going to include down at the bottom. I'm also going to include some of my favorite quotes that made me laugh out loud. And yeah, that's it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you have any questions about the book or anything like that, please let me know. And once again, thank you so much, Penguin Random House, for sending me this book. I truly adored it. Okay, I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.